Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is going to be a reading romance for a week or just a vlog of reading romance. I did it last year and I had a lot of fun doing it. And this year I'm going to do it again, but I want to do it in different areas. And it's like, it's like 10 inches of snow here, so I figured this might be the perfect time. So I'm only going to be reading 4 books through this. And I'm going to try to finish them all in this video, which I should be able to. That's my cat. Anyways, so the first, I got the 4 right here. And the first one's going to be Lease on Love. I did all my February TBR, so you guys should probably already know which ones I'm talking about, but still. Lease on Love. I don't know anything with these books, by the way, but I'm going to try and make a guess on every single one of these books in this little segment before I start reading it. Lease on Love is going to be the first one I read, and I'm assuming it has to do with an apartment lease. That she meets a dude that either A, has the same lease as her, or B, they just live in the same apartment and she just meets him at the apartment and then they just slowly fall in love. I'm going to go with A, though. I feel like that'd be the whole point why it's called Lease on Love, or he's the landlord. It's one of those 3 options. The next one is Mr. Wrong Number from Lynn Painter. I actually read one of her books last year. I can't remember which one. It's called Love Wager. That's what I read last year. Anyways, so Mr. Wrong Number. I'm going to make a really good assumption that the girl, or either one, it doesn't matter, the guy or the girl, whichever one, gets the other one's number accidentally. And I don't know how, but I'm assuming that's what happens. And they end up contacting the other one. It's going to be something where, they lost their phone or something like that. And then that's how they contact the other one. And then they meet and they're like, wow, holy crap. And something like that. That's what my assumption is for this book. And we're going to go from there. I'm assuming that's how it's going to be. I can't wait to dig into these. It Happened One Summer is the next one. I'm assuming. So this guy looks like, clearly it looks like fisherman stuff or a lighthouse. And I'm assuming it's not like the movie, The Lighthouse. If you guys ever seen it, go check it out. I'm assuming that, so this guy's the fisherman, and this girl looks like she's dressed really nicely. So she might be, meeting him as he's, a fisherman, but she's, a preppy girl. And I think he's going to change her ways of being, a really prep-up girl, where she just thinks she's better than everyone, all that crap. And I think she's going to change throughout the book because of him. That's my assumption. That's my vibe. This one also kind of, Practice Makes Perfect also kind of gives me, I feel like these two, by the way, I keep looking, that tattoo is like a fake roll-up one. That's what it looks like. Because his skin tone is a little more tan than the actual tattoo thing, unless it's just the art. But anyways, though, we're not going to talk about that. Practice Makes Perfect, unless it's in the book. Interesting. Anyway, so Practice Makes Perfect. I'm just assuming that these two are friends, and one of them is getting back into the dating life and wants to learn dating, and so they just practice on one another, and then they actually find out that they love each other. So those are my thoughts so far. That's my assumption for all these. But yeah, so we're gonna see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. I like reading different genres, especially I just like reading different genres that isn't fantasy, because it's just nice reading other stuff once in a while. And this year I want to try and expand my reading genre and not just read fantasy. Like I said, this channel, I don't want to focus on just fantasy. I don't want to be stuck in that little corner. I want to be able to read everything. So anyways, so the first book I'm going to get into is Lease on Love. When I finish that, tomorrow I'll start probably Mr. Wrong Number, and then It Happened One Summer, and Practice Makes Perfect. So today is Saturday, and it's not Sunday, so it's not the start of the week, but it doesn't matter. Maybe if I read one of these a day, that'd be fine. I just want to read these books and get it over with. Anyways, though, let's get started with Lease on Love. I am 100 pages into Lease of Love. And how do I feel about it? Ignore the giant furniture box. I actually just got a brand new recliner, so kudos for me for that. I'm pretty happy about it, but I didn't take out the box because it's snowing. And I don't want to take it out because it's freaking snowing. It was like 12 inches. Anyways, so I am on chapter 8, and I am 111 pages into this book. I'm trying to explain how I feel about this book. I'm really 50-50 of the book currently. Of all the romance novels, 3 that I finished, this one's not my favorite so far, and I don't know why. There's just something about it that's like, I don't know yet, but I don't know. So you meet the main character, her name's Sadie, and she gets fired from a job that she really busted her ass for, and the boss promoted his son-in-law to take her job, and she was pissed, which sucks because that's just kind of how life works sometimes. And she was pissed about it, and she downloads a dating app, which she didn't use. She used a roommate thing, and now she lives with this man named Jack, who is really rich because of his parents. His parents are dead, so that's interesting. So now she's starting to work on her business, and there's a lot going on. Like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be obvious that she's gonna end up with Jack. Something's gonna happen with her and Jack. But other than that, I don't know how I feel about it. The last 3 all had these like elements that I just felt were really cute. I guess that's the word, is they were very cute. This one doesn't have that like cuteness to it. There's been a couple times, though, where I have smiled because I thought they were kind of funny. But compared to the other ones, all I thought were pretty cute, and they all were funny. Like, I legit, and some of them made me laugh hard. But this one hasn't yet, but there's still over 200 pages left, so I'm sure it'll get better. But right now, I'm just 50-50 with it. But, I mean, I don't dislike it. If I disliked it, I wouldn't proceed to keep reading it. So, but yeah, so far it's sitting about a 3.5 out of 5 rating, so still pretty good. I'm this is gonna be a rant for about 2 seconds, but I don't know why people think a 3.5 rating out of 5 is bad. I think it's average. Like, a 4-star rating is really good. A 3 is all right, but 3.5 is just average. I see there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if I see a book review and someone put 3.5 stars, I'm never once like, oh, that's a bad book. Never once am I gonna think that. But so far, this book sits at about 3.5. I think my favorite's the one. So I read Beach Reads, the Romance Book Club, and the Lynn Painter one. I can't remember it right now, and I think that was my favorite one. Actually, I liked all of them. I was pretty impressed with all 3 of those ones. So, Lease on Love, though, is definitely the weakest one so far, but who knows? It might be one of my favorites after I'm done with it. I will let you guys know. I'll probably do another checkup after I read another 100 pages. But it's like 6:30, and I gotta write. And after I get done writing, I plan on reading more of this, and then I'm gonna try to finish this tonight, because I did not sleep well last night, so I'm hoping if I can read through the night, I can just crash, because I could not sleep for the life of me last night, so hopefully. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next segment. Okay, so I just finished Lease on Love this morning. I didn't record myself reading last night. I was just like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna finish this book. So I give this book on Goodreads, it's a 4 out of 5, because you can't do freaking half stars. Why can they not do half stars? Anyways, I'm not gonna rant about Goodreads. We already know how bad Goodreads is. So this book is like a 3.5 for me. There was some parts of it where I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, but I don't know. I honestly can't give you like the best example of why. Like, my experience now that I read 4 of these romances are, I just like the other 3 more. And I don't know what, I think the romance, I don't know, it just didn't feel, I mean, it was like good, but it wasn't like good, that makes sense. like with Sadie and Jack, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, I give this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was still a fun read. Like I said, 3.5 doesn't mean it's a bad book. I just think it's an average book, which is fine. But I'm going to be reading Mr. Wrong Number next. So that's from Lynn Painter. I read her book, Love Wager, last year, and I actually really enjoyed that one. I read that in like a day because it was fun. So maybe Mr. Wrong Number will do the same thing. I guess we'll see, but I'll tell you guys about it later. I am 100 pages into Mr. Wrong Number. My prediction was that it was going to be a miscommunication, someone getting the wrong number, which happened. But what's going on is, and this is funny, so Lisa in Love and Mr. Wrong Number kind of start out the same way, where both the main characters have to like restart their life. So that's what's going on in this one. The main character's name is Olivia, and she burns down her whole apartment getting over a relationship. So that was wild. Anyway, so she moves into this condo with this man named Jack and Colin. Jack, now I'm thinking of Jack from Lisa in Love the whole time. It's just weird that these two are kind of like these books. My eyes keep darting over here because I have the Lions game on. So when you guys see this, clearly it won't be the Lions game. Maybe it will be in the future. Who knows? Anyways, so starting out with this, I actually think Lynn Painter has become one of my favorite authors for romance novels. How she writes is really just fun. It's fun and comforting. And the way that she writes characters is just, like I said, it's really funny. I actually enjoy this. And what's going on is the main character, Olivia, is getting text messages from a guy. And my first instinct was, I text my little sister and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Mr. Wrong Number is Colin. Because the way that she set it up is Olivia keeps talking about how attractive Colin is. And the way that Colin keeps talking to her, like in person, how much she hates him. I'm like, they're probably going to end up being together. And they're going to, like, one of them's going to figure it out. And now I'm in the part where Colin just figured out that Olivia is Miss Dial. And she doesn't know that he's still Mr. Wrong Number. So, oh, nice. Anyways, like I said, I actually have the game on mute while I was reading this and recording this. But yeah, so that's my thoughts right now. I actually really like this one. I actually like this one more than Lisa in Love. This one's currently, I like this one more. Now, my prediction, I should have said this, but my prediction going into this reading vlog was this was going to be my favorite one because I already read one Lynn Painter book, so I figured this would probably be my favorite out of the 4. But we're still halfway through it, so who knows? My opinion could change. I got 2 other books. But yeah, so far, I actually really like this one much more than Lisa in Love, so we're going to continue. Alright, so I just finished Mr. Wrong Number. I can't believe I already forgot I was reading. Next I'm going to read It Happened That One Summer, I think it's called, or One Summer, something like that. I don't know. It's a Fisher thing. Anyways, I gave Mr. Wrong Number a 4 out of 5. I actually enjoyed it. The only thing that bothered me is, like, it's miscommunication, but that's just a trope in romance. So I kind of just let it happen because that's just what's going to happen. And basically, I was sort of right. So Olivia and Colin, Colin figures out it's Olivia. And instead of him just telling her, he could have just told her right off the rip that was him. But yet again, he probably wouldn't have led to like an actual relationship. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I feel about that. Regardless, though, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I think it's a cute little book. It was fun to read. It's 300 and some odd pages, quick little read. I read it in, I think, 2 days now. Yeah. But I did enjoy it, so I'm going to be starting the next one. I don't know if I'm going to start tonight. I still got to read. I still got to write. So I might start it tomorrow. I don't know yet. I don't know where my mind's at for starting books. But, yeah, once I finish that one, then I got one more after that. Then I'll be done for my romance reading until I start 50 Shades of Grey, which can't wait for that one. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright guys, I am almost through It Happened One Summer. Right, Artemis? She always meows, but she might be camera shy. Right, Artemis? Okay. Right? I don't know. Anyways, though, this is probably... So I've read... So there's 5. So this is my 6th romance novel I've ever read. And this might be my favorite one. Like, no joke. I like this one a lot. I just like... It reminds me of Schitt's Creek. I don't know if you guys ever seen Schitt's Creek, but it does. The main character in this reminds me so much of Alexa. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking... Yeah, it's Alexa. Or, yeah, it is Alexa. Sorry. So this reminds me so much of Schitt's Creek because of that. So the main character's name is Piper, and she's like a rich girl that has to go to some small town where her dad grew up, where she originally lived for like 3 years. And she meets a fisherman named Brendan and just goes from there. And I really enjoy this book. I think there's a few things I like with this book that other romance novels just haven't done for me yet. And yeah, you get the idea with some of the men in other romance novels where they're just like hiding their vulnerability. But this one really, she does a really good job at really showing how a lot of men hide their emotions and just bury it down, just accept things because it's just, they don't know how to be vulnerable. I really, really like that. It resonates with me a lot because I am a man. You guys check out the headband. I feel like rocking the Cheech and Chong look today. So, anyways, but with that aspect, it's really making me just really enjoy this book more than I liked the other ones. Not just for that aspect, just the whole book in itself is just really fun. I like reading that Piper is a character that's just, oh God. Every time I'm just like, oh dear God, because she is that snotty, spoiled kid. But when you get to the deeper levels of it, she's actually not like that. And I really am enjoying that aspect because you get to see her grow as a character in elements that you never really thought she would. You know what I'm saying? And I am liking that a lot. It's really fun. And I like that she just accepts that she's just this dumb blonde, that she's just always dumb and she can't do anything. And I like that in part of it where Brendan's like, who's telling you this? Because you're not that. I really like this book. I really like this one the most. I thought Love Wager was probably going to be my favorite, but I think this is taking the throne for sure. This is easily my favorite. But we're going to get into it and finish this book out. I don't know if I'm going to finish it tonight. I will most definitely finish it tomorrow. But yeah, I am really liking this book, and it's just good shit, man. It's good stuff. I don't try to swear on this channel, but I'm just saying this is good shit. But yeah, all right, let's get into it. All right, everyone. I finished It Happened One Summer yesterday. I just was very tired from work, so I was like, I'm not going to record anything. Anyways, so I finished that, and today is Friday. And I have one last romance book, and it is Practice Makes Perfect. And I'm going to try and actually finish this probably today, because I have a few chores I have to do I already did all my errands. It's like noon, so I got to shower, wash my hair, eat, and then after that I should be good. But anyways, so I'm probably gonna read this for the whole day. It happened one summer. It's probably my favorite romance novel I've read, actually, of the 5 that I've read. This is by far my favorite. It was a lot of fun, and I actually felt really invested into this relationship. It reminded me a lot of Schitt's Creek, like I said in my earlier part of this video, this vlog. But I will say the difference between this one and the other ones I've read is the guy in this is a lot different. So Brendan is like just a blue collar dude that struggles with showing his emotions and stuff. And the other characters, usually the other dudes I've read are usually just like they put up this front, like they're always like really like douchey or, you know, something like that. But this one doesn't do it like that. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. It felt really relatable. So this was a 5-star read for me. At the end of this vlog, once I finish Practice Makes Perfect, I will rank them from my favorite to my least favorite. But I think this one's probably going to take the cake. It's a 5-star read without a doubt. And let's see if Practice Makes Perfect can top it. We'll see. Anyways, though, let's get into it. Hey everyone, it is the end of the vlog. We're finally done. And now I'm going to rank all these books. I didn't do a lot of like my thoughts and stuff for Practice Makes Perfect. And that's because I really liked that book and I was just so invested into it. So I actually read it in one day. I was pretty proud of myself for that. So yeah, I was like, dang, this book slaps. So yeah. We're going to rank them all, and then I'm going to talk about each one. And then that's the end of this vlog. Sam's even here to hang out with me while I tell you guys what I think about these books. Last place is... Now, I'm going to tell you guys, before I get jiggy with it, these books, they were all fine. This is just my opinion. So if anyone's like, oh my god, then I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, and it's kind of funny how this order is, because it's like... It's exactly the order of how I started reading these books, and that's just how they're like ordered for like least favorite to like favorite. It's kind of weird. So number 4 is Lease on Love. Now, Lease on Love, I gave it I gave on Goodreads it was a 4-star because Goodreads just does not give you friggin' half stars. And I don't know why, but we're not gonna complain too much about it because whatever. So in my head, I gave it a 3.5 stars. But usually if I have to give something a 3.5 stars, I usually just give it a 4 on Goodreads just because that's just how it rolls. But with Lease on Love, I did enjoy it. There's just some aspects of it where I don't know. It's just, there was something about where I just did not enjoy it as much as I thought I would. And I just felt like the romance between the two, it wasn't really that. It felt like it was more forced. I don't know. It just didn't feel organic. That was like my biggest complaint. I kept like reading this and I was just like, they don't really, no, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Sadie as a character. I just didn't really care for her. There was aspects where you're like, oh, she's a good person. And then there's other parts where I'm like, is she though? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Anyways, though, Lease on Love, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next book is in order for... Now, this book did get a 4 stars because I really did enjoy it. It was fun with the plot, but I kind of figured what the plot kind of was. I said that earlier in the vlog. But that is Mr. Wrong Number. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was really fun. But it just wasn't as good as the other two. The other two just were a friggin' banger. But this book, I think it was really fun. My only complaint about a lot of these romance novels that I've read is usually, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like, oh yeah, these two could definitely be a couple. It feels more like it's forced. Like they're in a situation where they're like, oh yeah, we actually love each other. I'm like, do you though? You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, they always end up together at the end, and that's a trope, which is fine. I read a lot of fantasy, and there's a lot of tropes. I'm just like, oh god. Anyways, though, Mr. Wrong Number, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. So this is where the bangers come in. The absolute bangers out of all these books. Both of them are 5 stars, but I was for sure thought this was gonna be the best one out of all 4 of them because I was like, dang, this book is really freaking good. But then I read another one. I was like, all right, never mind. So in second place with a 5 out of 5 stars is It Happened One Summer. This book was actually really good. I didn't know how I was expecting to go in there. It was the longest one out of the 4. And I think it really needed it. I think the way that she wrote these characters to slowly, you felt a really good connection. Because for one, she wrote it in different POVs, Brendan and with Sophie. I couldn't think of her name. I was going to say Olivia, but that's a different one. I wrote a lot of romance this week. Anyways, and with the difference between it was really nice to read their thoughts. And you actually got to feel like you understand Brendan a lot more. And to me, as a man, there's a lot of things I could relate with Brendan while reading this book. I was sitting there like, a lot of that he's dealing with, and the way that he doesn't want to show his affections and all this is really, really powerful stuff. And the way that he was telling, why did I say Sophie? It's Piper. What's wrong with me? It's Piper. Anyway, I don't know where Sophie came from, but anyways, but the way that he was like telling Piper, like, hey, we're gonna, you shouldn't be different because who you are is I love you and all that. I thought it was just really good stuff. Honestly, it was just really good, and I like how I felt like I was reading an episode, like a season of Schitt's Creek almost, which was really fun. So last but not least is my favorite book out of the 4 of them currently, and actually out of all 7 of the romance novels I've read currently, this is definitely my favorite of all of them. And that is like, there's no debate. Maybe eventually I'll do like a tier ranking of all the romance novels I read. I've only read 7, so maybe I need to get like 15 under my belt before I'm like, all right, now we can do it. But anyways, so Practice Makes Perfect is another 5 out of 5. I did not expect this to be my favorite, but this book was really good. And the book does the same exact thing as It Happened One Summer, where you get to see POVs of both characters. And you get to see what they're both going through constantly. And I really enjoy that aspect. It's like a thing where, like, romance novels usually are just first person, and it's always through the girl's head, which is fine. But with these, you get to see what's going on through Will's head, why he has his insecurities about his past, and everything like that. Same thing with Brendan. Like, they both have insecurities that they don't know how to actually embrace it and, like, talk it out. They don't understand how to do that. And that's like a thing that is just what a lot of men deal with. And I really like that. And it shows that, I think, with deep connections, where if a man really does love a woman, he will open up to her and be vulnerable. And I think that's just a really powerful thing. And I really do enjoy that aspect of this book and the other one. And I do like how in this book, Annie is like a really good girl, where she's just like always scared and she just goes with the flow of what everyone says because she doesn't understand anything, but the only way she can escape is by reading. I really enjoyed this aspect because both of them are polar opposites, but they I can't even think of the word, but they brought each other out and helped each other build to become better. And I really like that aspect. It was a really fun read. And like I said, I read this book in one day, and I didn't even record half of it because I was just so sucked into it. Like, you got to see like me reading for like a couple parts, and that was it. I was just too invested. So yeah, but those are all the books I read for the week. I don't know when I'll be reading romance again. I feel like February is the perfect time to read romance. Same thing as like October when you read spooky books. I think probably not this year, because like my TBR is actually like low-key planned for the whole year, which is kind of sad. But I would like to trickle in more romance and more horror throughout the year instead of just 2 months of the year. And that's what I'm going to try and do. Will I be able, if I have time, I'll try and dip into more romance during the summer. Maybe during summer I'll do one. But so far right now, I really am enjoying these. I've read, 7 books, and two of these are definitely my favorites. Like, I remember what happens in the other 3 I read over the years, but yeah, these are all fun reads. I haven't complained one bit about how I never sat back and like, wow, these books are god awful. So, but I will say reading romance is fun, but will I read them all the time again? No, but I do enjoy reading them. They're a very fun palate cleanser. And it's just fun to read something that isn't about swords and sorcery, dragons, and so on and so forth like that. It's nice to read something different once in a while. And that's why I really enjoy reading romance. I always ask my little sister for recommendations because why not? If you guys made it to the end of this video, I do appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out all my socials down below. Tell me out of these 4 books, which ones were your favorites and which ones were not your favorites. And let me know if you guys think I was just, my opinion on why certain books just didn't click with me is wrong. I'd like to know. Anyways, make sure you guys stay safe, stay hungry, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.